Would you like to try another one, Aaron?
Let's do hips.
For hips, this is one that's real good to do on the floor. All right, so this is one where, my favorite way to do hip stretches is in what I call a deer pose right here, where you can see that both your knees are facing one direction, kind of got a foot out to the side here. But I want to start by saying, asking you how comfortable this position is for you, and if there's a more comfortable position.
Just because of the way my legs are shaped, it kind of puts me at a weird angle. But as long as I put my torso in this angle, it feels natural. I can't put both butt cheeks down in a comfortable position and put my foot on top of my knee like that.
Okay. No. So yeah, if you can see from there. So my foot is on, both feet are on the floor, and this is not on here or anything. So
not on, just in front. Yeah, I see what you mean. I'm trying to do it like you. It's just yeah, I can sit like this.
Okay, and now use your hands too. You see how I kind of have my hands behind me here? See if you can kind of get a little bit of your weight onto your hands, to kind of let some of these muscles around here release. Because we're trying to stretch hips here, so we need to get the hips somewhere where they don't feel tight. So this is always the tricky part, is finding that initial pose where you actually feel relaxed. And you said you can sit this way, and sound like it's okay, but we want to find maybe an even better position where it's truly relaxed for you. For some people, it might be more like a cross leg, like this. This one starts to feel real tight real quick in my right hip, so I don't do it too much.
See, that's the thing with stretches and positions to me, is that everybody is slightly different sized and proportioned, and that impacts where you put pressure and weight to make movements.
Absolutely.
Some people have so short of legs that they really can't move in the way someone with longer legs can, and in some positions.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I'm thinking maybe individualized lessons might work a little better for some people, because I have no idea if somebody is kind of forcing themselves to look like I am, and they're just getting real tight to look right. That's kind of how I used to stretch, and it never worked. But you got to find some relaxed position. I call them entry points, where, hey, I can find somewhere that I can be relaxed enough. Sometimes I like to do this one too. That might be easier for you if you're stacked a little bit. You can be like that.
I mean, I can do butterfly or Indian.
Yeah, straight out is another way. I wanted to see what of all these that you've tried or that you can think of, what feel the most relaxed to you in your hips?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's a nice one there. Do you have, I can't see your feet. Are they crossed or are they facing?
Yeah, they're crossed.
Crossed? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Kind of a relaxed cross leg style. And what do you think? Is this the most relaxed one, or is it more relaxed if you kind of are?
Yeah, but it puts a lot of weight on my wrists.
Sure. Yeah, that's one.
And then my wrist starts to hurt. I fall asleep.
Yeah. You want to use your wrist to support you a little bit, but you want to have most of your weight on your one of your hips or your glutes. So in that type of pose, you probably want most of your weight to be on your butt there.
Oh, you really got to use your torso muscles to support that, because yeah.
Okay, and that's great that you're feeling that you need to use that. Now, part of the trick will be convincing yourself you don't need to use it. And that's one of the cores to get you started on one of these stretches, is because
Yeah.
I use my, if I have my hands not involved here, you're right, you do need to use those torso muscles to really keep your weight balanced, because your muscles are always fighting gravity, trying to stay upright, not falling over. And if you lean forward more, you can get your weight off your hands, but then you might get tighter in your hips. So it's kind of about finding that optimal balance between hip tightness and too much weight on your wrists.
Okay.
So what do you think between all those? What do you think is the most comfortable place between, where you're lying back or where you're pushed forward more, maybe to a side?
I don't know, if I pivot here and I push my pelvis kind of forward at the top and back at the bottom. Yeah, this is the best for me.
Okay.
And it feels the most ergonomic. After a while, the muscles that support this give out. They don't have a lot of endurance. This feels the
Okay.
best.
And that means you're using the wrong muscles for it. Not that I'm trying to say you're doing this wrong, but
Okay.
you want to be thinking that, okay, if I'm tightening up and I'm in a position where I can't support this for more than a minute or two, that means there's unnecessary tightness coming into your positioning, and you want to see if you can relax those. Now, where do you feel the tightness coming in?
The middle of my back,
Middle of your back?
right under my shoulder blades.
Okay. Now, are you trying to keep your spine straight, or are you just letting it lean forward, or what is your mental positioning command you're giving there?
Neutral. It's kind of in the middle of straight and forward.
In the middle of straight and forward? Okay.
Yeah, a little bit diagonal.
Now see if you can visualize where those muscles are that are tightening up. Now, on your next breath, on your exhale, see if you can release them. See what happens. Do you start to fall backward or fall forward, or?
Now I feel it in my lower back. I mean, all the way where my tailbone is. 'Cause I feel like that's where I'm letting all the weight distribute to.
Okay, and it's good to differentiate between where you're feeling weight, because of course with gravity you're going to feel some sensation from your weight being pressed onto the floor, and differentiating that with muscle that's being used to hold you up.
I also moved my arms because my arms were no longer pressing down on my knees, which were applying pressure on my shoulder blade area. So now that I move my position a little bit to relieve the pressure right there under the shoulder blades, it's now right there where the tailbone is at.
That's good. So now, do you feel anything? You mentioned that your lower back tailbone area was feeling either some weight or some tightness. Do you?
It feels tight, pinching, and weight, all three.
Okay. Tight, pinching, weight. Okay. Now, you're in a position where if you were imagining, like, say you were to just faint right now, and you had no conscious muscular control, can you picture like where you would go if you were to faint?
It would go back. I would go backwards.
You would go backwards. Okay. Now, I want you to try and feel like, okay, I'm gonna faint, and then just feel yourself go a couple inches backwards. See what that feels like. Can you just let go, and as if you all of a sudden were paralyzed or,
Yeah, but if I hold that, then I'm engaging a lot of muscle groups to hold this. It's very awkward to use all these muscle groups to hold this position.
yeah. Now, so that's why I'm saying,
Because I'm not using a natural body position to let the weight distribute. I'm using a bunch of muscle groups to hold that awkward position, that middle spot.
yeah.
I would
So,
have to reposition and distribute everything in order to just get that position backwards. Like I would have to do this basically to get that comfortably. But yeah.
so now, did you try what I was suggesting? Feel what it feels like to faint. Like right now, I'm gonna try it and just see
Yeah,
what.
I went down. I went backwards like 3 millimeters. But I just wanted to go all the way back. In order to hold that, it hurt a lot because I had to engage a lot of different muscles.
Oh, okay. In order to hold that, you had to engage muscles. See, that's a little confusing to me because when I think of fainting or just being paralyzed.
I'm changing where the gravity is pushing my weight down. So to hold that, I have to engage a lot of muscles to balance that new distributed weight position. So my alternative was to increase the grappling point with my heels right here. But now I can go less perpendicular to the ground and maintain it without engaging the groups.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's why I sit like this, because it distributes the weight right down to the center and on my pelvis, and I can kind of pivot it forward and it doesn't hurt. But once I start to lean backwards, like as if I were fainting,
Mhm.
I have to, it engages my upper torso area
Really,
as
because
well.
I think when I think
Yeah,
of fainting, I
my
think
back.
that absolutely nothing should be engaged. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah, of course. But then
right,
then you go all the way down.
right. So you go all the way down, but then you say I need to
Because you're not
tighten
using
up in order to do
anything.
that. That
No,
that.
no, 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 no. I don't have to tighten up to faint. Not at all.
Oh, okay. All right. I think I get it now. Because when you faint, you move back and then you're off balance, so you have to tighten up to maintain keep from all the way falling up, right?
Right. Of course,
Okay.
fainting, I can faint because, well, probably not, 'cause I don't want to go and hurt myself, but
Sure.
that's a whole nother exercise, probably. But
Okay, cool.